everybody. Welcome to Dirty Thursday, my second favorite day of the week. Stephen Lewis and myself in the house. The studio's of Grand Forks' best source today. We've got wingless and NOSA Outlaw Sprint car drivers Tee and Colton Young. Little Chris Steppen coming out of me there, Young. Our show today, by the way, brought to you by the Buzz Run. The Buzz Run Vintage Snowmobile Show and Run is back. It's bigger, it's better, and it's coming to the Beehive in Reynolds Saturday, January 11th. There's awards for customs, restored, best original. There's awards for farthest travel, the People's and Mayor's Choice, best dressed, a kids class, and of course, the loud pipe competition. Cost is just $10 per sled. Registration starts at 8:30 at the Beehive, with judging starting at 11:30. Either ride or follow along for the annual ride to Brewski's in Thompson, and then back for the awards at 4:30. The Buzz Run Vintage Snowmobile Show and Run, Saturday, January 11th at the Beehive in Reynolds. Brought to you by the Beehive and the Valley Drift Riders. We'll see you there. Dobmeyer always gets in on those commercials and stuff, isn't it? Hey, by the way, if you have any questions or comments for myself, Stephen, Tee, or Colton, feel free to call or text. Our number here at the studio is 701-213-0863. 701-213-0863. Nick Curtis already texting. Good morning to you, Nick. By the way, next week, now, if you haven't figured this out, we're not on YouTube. We got in a little bit of YouTube trouble. In fact, a lot of YouTube trouble. But next week, we will be streaming live on YouTube again. You just go to GFBS Dirty Thursday, all small letters, and you'll be able to figure it out. But I'll tell you about that again next week. But we will be back on YouTube again next week. There we go. All right, before we get going too far into the show, let's do it. It's our daily segment called Jokes My Neighbor Tells Me. Here we go. Jokes My Neighbor Tells Me, and it's not that good. I'm going to tell you that right now. Just finished reading 100 Things to Do Before You Die. 100 Things to Do Before You Die. Now, I see that Shout for Help wasn't in there. You didn't like that one, did you?
It was fine, but I was like, we've got someone sitting here that can help with a stupid joke if we need. So
here we go. I know Dale didn't like it.
We really can't start yet. We've got Steve, me, and Colton, but we're missing Kim here. I mean, they said it was going to be a young day, so, you know.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Happy holidays, by the way, guys. Did you have a good Christmas, good New Year, all that?
Yeah, it was pretty good Christmas. Got to spend time with my grandma and just family. So always good to see them. And then just, you know, right into the new year, and it's always busy. So
I had to throw him in there right away. Right off the bat, I had to throw him into the fire just to see how he was going to respond. And I know he's a little nervous, but how the holidays go for you? Happy New Year. I know we're both pretty psyched up about 2025 for certain reasons.
It's Trump.
That's
great. Yeah.
And this is not a political racing show, but maybe it kind of is.
Let's just make the liberals mad right out of the box.
There you go. I have no problem with that, you know. I have no problem with that. And your New Year, did it go okay?
Yeah.
Do anything exciting?
I mean, ended up at the UND game last Saturday. First one of those in 3 years, so that was pretty good. It's you always kind of miss something when the band's not there or whatever. In heaven, there is no beer. Being the recorded version isn't the same vibe.
Not the same when you go, no beer.
Yeah. So, but yeah, anyway, it was a good time. So.
Heather McDonald, you mentioned that puke's name. My skin just crawled. Ish. I don't know who she's talking about.
I think Tee.
Oh,
I think.
I resemble that.
We'll see that. I want to reach out to Colton here. First off, your first time on the show. Yep. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I don't want to know anything about racing right now. We all know you're his kid. But, like, I know you've got to leave here because you've got other things you do. I know you're a wrestler in high school and you're still coaching. But tell us a little bit about you besides being at the racetrack.
Yeah, so I coach on the high school team for Devils Lake Wrestling. I am actually now the 7th and 8th grade head coach.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, this weekend's going to be busy. Right after this, I got to head home. We have our final practice before heading out to the Bismarck Rotary.
Is that a Friday, Saturday deal?
Yep.
Okay.
So it starts tomorrow. We head there tonight. And then, yeah, it starts out on Monday. I have the 7th and 8th graders. We have a tournament in Cavalier, and then Tuesday we have another duel. So
Never ends.
yeah, staying busy with them, and then I kind of use it to stay in shape for for the racing.
Yeah,
So.
and what do you do for a living? You don't just coach.
No, so I do maintenance for the Housing Authority in Devil's Lake in Can-Do area.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's been keeping me busy. We had a water line break last night.
Oh, for fun.
Stuck out doing that, and then the starter went out on my truck last
Oh,
night.
jeez, when it rains, it pours, right?
Yeah, and then on my way home, after getting the starter fixed, I got pulled over.
No! What, were you speeding?
No, it was registration on my truck.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, so it was not my day yesterday.
So did you get a ticket or a warning?
I got a ticket.
Oh, man. Highway Bowl, Sheriff?
I was Highway Patrol, and it was my friend's cousin.
Oh, but yeah, they really have no sense of humor at all. Let me see, Heather, what political office is T going to announce his candidacy for this time? I don't think you are.
Drunk. Just drunk.
Heather said, no, not T. Good morning, John Roberts and Jesus Stephen Lewis. Good morning to Colton and Sonny from Travis Strandell. Good morning, gentlemen, from Aaron Benson.
We'll circle back to that one.
Okay.
I've got something set up for that one.
no.
A little bit later on.
Okay,
But
okay.
We'll come back to that.
Okay.
It did make me laugh though, Travis. That's hilarious.
You know,
Thanks, Travis.
we had Snapchat was entertaining last night. I didn't see that. We had UT on the show years ago in the infancy when we first started here at Dirty Thursday, and I had never met you at that time. And I've just been told it's like
So life changed for you that day, and not necessarily for the better, right?
And
Okay.
it was. I was gonna say it was like this mythical person I had never ever got to meet in person. Everybody had talked about him, and I had people telling me, you got to get him on the show. You got to get him on the show. And so I finally got you on the show, and now I knew what they were talking about.
Well, you know how they record history BC and AD? It's just like whatever it's before T and after T. It's BT and AT is how I look at it. So
Before T and after
Yeah.
T. Now, how old are you now?
Well, I was born when that guy was up on the cross. So
I bet you're not that much older than I am.
actually, I'm 63.
Okay, you got me by 3 years.
So we were there. I was there, but his dad is the one that took the picture at the resurrection. So
Oh, how old's your dad?
70.
Okay, well, I'll be 60 in February, so we're not that. In fact, do we have that first picture of when he was racing?
Actually, Steven got a very big exclusive, a very rare, one-of-a-kind rookie photo of T. Young. So
oh my god!
In action. Check this shot.
Action shot.
yeah, so here we go.
I'm scared. Oh God! Thanks, Steve.
I couldn't believe I found it too. I was just like, I think that's him.
I hope I'm in the lead.
I think you are. Well, you can tell by the hat.
I think there's a number 2 on there.
Well, there's number 2 coming out of it too. So.
Kaylee says, Canada had a flat during one of the Devil's Lake features this last year. We all bolted down to the pits to get a change. Some random guy was also there helping us out, which contributed to getting her back out. I had no idea who it was, but later learned it was Colton. I haven't seen him since, so this is my public thank you for doing that. That's the first time that's happened for us during a feature. I've never experienced that kind of a rush. Your help was so much appreciated. Side note, if you go back far enough on our race page, I was live during the whole ordeal.
Wow, yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's just the way it goes in the racing world, isn't it? Somebody needs a hand and you can give it to them. Do you help?
Yeah, I always try to give a hand when I can. I enjoy it, and I grew up around it, so
It's
I
kind of
understand
karma
it.
thing too, you know?
Yeah, so I understand it. So I just want down the road the help back to
Sure.
me. So if I get it, I get it. If I don't,
Mhm.
it's all good going out to them, and I like doing it. So
Yep. Now, when your dad was on the show before, you were just up and coming, and then I remember then you were going to run a wing car because we were going to put some GFBS stickers on the wing, and then you blew up and didn't run again for the rest of the year. And you kept telling us, you wait, this kid's got some talent. He's going to be good. Fast forward a couple of years now, I MC the NOSA banquet here last month, and lo and behold, Colton Young, top 5 in points. Not bad, dude.
No, so
I taught him that.
with blowing the engines, it keeps coming back around on us. We blew up 2 more this year, but finished the year out on our 360 and was able to sneak away with 5th in points. Is pretty good. So I just felt comfortable this year and confident. So
Is that a key though? Is the confidence part of it?
yeah, I'd definitely say that is. At the beginning of the year, it was still kind of a little struggle. I was just getting back into it, back with the 410 again, and it was more to see where I was going to stand at the end of the year. And it showed at the end of the year that I could compete with these guys.
Sure.
So
Now, did you start in the wingless first?
no, I actually started in lightning sprints
Okay.
8 years ago.
Okay. And what did you think about the lightning sprints?
It was all right. I ran 4 times.
Ask him about his first race.
Yeah, my first one was in Valley City. It was a wingless lightning sprint race.
Oh, wow.
There was 4 cars there, and I actually took 2nd there.
Yeah.
Probably 3 more laps, I probably would have won the thing. The guy in the lead lost an oil drain plug.
Oh, boy.
He pretty much blew up.
I'd say he won the race, but lost the battle.
The worst part is he was so young, I had to run next to the car and let the clutch out so that he could
No way, really?
Yeah, I can.
be running.
That is crazy. Kevin says, I met Colton Young during the Hall of Fame this year. Nice young man. What happened to you, T?
Thanks a lot.
Hey, today on Dirty Thursday, it's Pick on T Young Day.
I always say this, so whenever these two are next to each other, I was just like, how windy was that day when that apple fell off the tree? Because here you've got Colton, nice as can be, and then you got, this over here. So.
You should see my wife.
Is she like the peacemaker of the group or what? Or what is she like? Is she a combination of you and him?
Not even close.
Okay, okay.
Probably one of the nicest people
Yeah,
I've ever been around.
yeah.
Very timid, very shy.
Yeah.
But
Does she keep you? Well, she doesn't keep him grounded.
Don't
What
get
am
her-
I thinking?
don't
there?
get her
She
upset.
definitely keeps
That's
him
my
grounded.
first question for Colton. Every time I see these guys, I was like, all right, how big a handful has he been since the last time I saw you?
You have to understand that when I was doing the entertainment and the music and stuff, had she not come into my life, I'm pretty sure I'd have been dead.
I say the same thing about my wife too.
Oh my
Yeah,
God!
yeah.
There's-
I was loving life a little too much back when I met my wife.
Yeah.
Jory Berg wants to know, where's the muscle shirt, T?
No thanks. That's actually one of those retardant ones, so I wear.
Oh,
it.
sure. Yeah. The fire. Yeah.
And my wife said that she'd sleep with me again if I just had an ab, so it was $12.99.
There we go. Colton takes after his mother, according to Heather.
Colton's face. Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's got to be a trip going on the road with this guy.
Yeah, definitely. We went to Iowa at the beginning of the year. I had my buddy Walker. He helped me out a lot, and he's just a friend from high school. But I have no idea what happened on the way down there, but I know I was sleeping, and they said that they had some of the weirdest conversations on the way down there. And I'm probably glad I was sleeping.
Yeah.
Because some of the rides can get definitely wild. I don't know if it's one day it could be a business idea, and the next day it could be some random off the street topic.
Sure.
So, yeah, that was a fun trip going down there.
You know, the thing is, too, when you have a dad like T. Young, you get to meet a lot of people. Sometimes where it would take a lot longer to get to meet these people, you might know who they are, you've heard about them, whatever, kind of like how I met you. But you got to, I mean, let's be real, he knows almost everybody. So that's got to kind of help in the racing world, doesn't it?
It does and doesn't. I don't know. I was talking with someone the other day, and I was like, I go through town and people wave at me, and I'm like, I have no idea who you are. Like, and it's probably tied back with the racing or through my dad. And
Sure.
It's like I have no
Yeah, you
No
just
idea.
honk and wave back.
Are they waving with all 5 fingers or just one?
All 5.
Yeah, you're used to the one. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. I'm trying to do this between cops. Now, how many times you run last year? Like, you didn't run a whole lot. 8, or did you run more than that?
I think.
I think 8 features, 2
sounds
top
about
10s. Now, you did run some wing stuff, though, didn't you?
Nope.
Okay,
I
it was
never
all
touched the wing.
wingless.
Yep.
Is that going to be the plan for you again this coming year?
Absolutely not.
Okay. What is your plan for the upcoming season then?
Well, Donnie Mack, rest his soul.
Yeah.
We had a great guy.
Oh, absolutely.
Just fantastic.
Yep.
Donnie had ended up helping me with a complete race car that is pretty good. And after he passed, Todd got a hold of me, and I ended up with one of their old 360s.
Okay.
So I put it in that car, and I might take it out just because of whose it is and
Sure.
what it is. I'd like to try a couple winged again.
Yep.
The wingless just isn't for me.
Yeah. It's a lot different, isn't it?
It's bright.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing covering you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I like it. The people are great. Don't get
Oh,
me wrong.
absolutely. Yeah. Great group.
Yep. But just it's fun.
Yeah, my one complaint about the wingless cars, and I think I've told everybody this, if I don't have them on my computer, on my stuff, they're going too fast. You can't see the number. You don't know who the hell it is. And if you don't see them every single week,
Well,
because we don't up here, I have a hard time. It's not like the wing sprints where the number's huge. And plus, I see those guys every week, and you start to know them by heart. But again, racing's racing for me. I don't care what they're driving.
We always put on my car the 2 right on the Pretty Boy shield.
Yeah.
So I think the tank you can't see it.
Right.
In the front is usually mudded up. So
Yeah.
I just always thought the 2 over there was better.
Sure. When you went from Lightnings to the big cars, was it a wingless sprint first, or did you have a wing on it right off the bat?
It was right into a wing.
Okay.
My first race in a wing sprint was in a 360 that was half blown up. And
It was not healthy.
Okay. It was a little
and
ill.
we didn't even really have the whole car done. We had someone bring seatbelts to the track in Minot. We put the seatbelts in and never even started a full sprint car yet. And we pushed out for the feature that night. I was able to run 17 out of 25 laps and improved a lot better the next night. We finished the whole race. I think I only went down 1 lap. So,
Okay.
but I was 13 years old at the time,
Wow.
so it was still, kind of crazy on what I was doing, and it was more of the confidence, type deal, and with not having the big backing, there's no second car,
Sure,
you got to
sure.
run what you have. So
He ended up that night. How he ended up with the car is we got the car from Doug Wolfgang.
Okay.
And we took the chassis, and then he started talking to people and ended up with getting parts. And I know Blake and Tom Eglin, they helped quite a bit. They got a lot of stuff, and he acquired all this. And he said, well, I'm going to put my car together. Okay. And he did.
Yeah. Not a whole lot of help from Dad, or what?
Yes and no.
Okay.
He was pretty independent.
Mm-hmm.
Still is.
Sure. And that's a good thing.
even with my first car, it was with the Lightning Sprint. It was me. I remember going up to Candu at the old noodle factory, and we actually had kind of the contract to remove all the old stuff. And I actually remember stripping the copper out of the place and sold a tote of copper, and that's what actually helped me pay for my first Lightning Sprint.
Wow. That is a freaking awesome story, man. That is cool. Now, have you always been kind of mechanically inclined? I mean, hanging around in the garage, or I mean, you gotta learn somehow.
Yeah, so I was probably, I don't even know, 3, and I remember coming down into the garage with my dad down in Nevada. And then just, you know, kind of having the whole backing. And then when we moved back to Devil's Lake, we had the shop right across the highway, and then we were right into the, you know, if you wanted to go do something, you can go over there and pull something apart.
Sure.
And that's how I just learned. I just kind of started pulling things apart and probably never put them back together, but.
Oh, well, maybe a couple extra bolts here and there.
At 18 months.
Yeah, didn't you lose him?
Yeah, 18 months. His mother called me. I was at work and said, I can't find him. So I rushed home, and we found him about an hour later, and he had fallen asleep in the race car out in the yard.
Nice.
So
That is nice.
That happened to Sean and Amanda the final night. Was it 2 seasons ago? They're, where's Hudson? Where's Hudson? Well, there he was in the lightning sprint asleep.
Nice. Well,
Yeah.
never looked far. A couple of texts. We're going to take a break here in a second. Let's see here. You should do some videos from your adventures on the road with T. That's from Amanda Joe. Marie Stewart, The Sound of Wingless. Kim Young, ask T about his speed secret when he won the feature so many years ago.
We got a couple of victory lane picks if we want to.
Okay, we'll show
When we
those
come
here.
back.
We'll show those right after the break. And Marie says, great story, very humble. This is awesome. Stephen Lewis here in the studio. Of course, we've got Dale, the producer. T and Colton Young in the studio right now. We're going to take a short break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Life doesn't ever seem to slow down. Everything needs to be done right now. Well, when it comes time for an oil change, stop into Valvoline Instant Oil Change. You know, most changes are done in about 15 minutes. Valvoline Instant Oil Change does more too. Tranny and coolant flushes, tire rotations, and batteries. And included in your oil change, they're going to top off your fluids, check your tires, battery, lights, wipers, and cabin air filter too. And you get discounts for fleets and the military. You know, they can text and email invoices and coupons and mention Grand Forks Best Source and get $10 off your oil change. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. They're open Monday through Saturday with no appointment needed. Pickup and delivery is also available if you live in Grand Forks. And Valvoline Instant Oil Change is now hiring. If you'd like to join their team as an assistant manager, customer service rep, or lube tech, stop in to find out more. Valvoline Instant Oil Change for a complete oil change and more. They're at 3325 South 38th Street or call them 701-780-8462 and make sure you tell them Grand Forks Best Source sent you. Don't miss the 4th annual Dwayne Bry Memorial Fun Run in Manville, Saturday, January 18th, brought to you by the Turtle River Rough Rider Snowmobile Club. Register your sled for just $10 per rider with many different classes depending on what you bring. Registration begins at 9 with judging starting at 11 and a ride to the warming shelter at noon. And of course, awards with a raffle and food starting at 4:30 at the Manville Community Center. What a great vintage show. It's Saturday, January 18th, the 4th annual Dwayne Bry Fun Run with many classes, raffles, and food. Brought to you by the Turtle River Rough Rider Snowmobile Club. Hope to see you there. The picture, I believe that was a 71 EXT special. My very first race sled looked exactly like that. Dirty Thursday, welcome back, everybody. Stephen Lewis, myself, Dale, the producer, T. Young, and Colton Young in the studio today. Okay, Dale, you said you had a question?
Yeah. Colton Tee, I got to meet both you guys throughout the season at Devil's Lake Speedway. Great seeing you guys in action. Colton, you got to run the non-wing sprints off and on throughout the season, but also there's a few times throughout the year where the West Renegades did a bonus winged sprint exhibition. And on our final night of the race season, you had a hell of a night. 2 podiums. I wonder if that was a big standout night for you this year.
Yeah, it was.
Good question.
Had he tightened his bolts, he'd have won it.
We focused more on the wing car throughout the year, and so the non-wing probably slacked a little bit more, and we had some motor troubles, and found out later it was just the ground. Well, now we learned. So, but yeah, we won the non-wing race that night, my first one in the non-wing, and then we put the wings on, and with running the wing car, I know I like my car a certain way now, so I changed some stuff, trying to make it a little bit better. And then we were running away with it, and then it was just caution after caution that night, and had a battle with Nick Sherrick, and all of a sudden, here comes Jeremy Lizakowski around the outside of both of us. And I kept telling Dad the car went away, and he kind of didn't believe me right away. But we later got it in the shop, and some of the motor mount bolts came loose, and yeah, so the car was probably flexing a little more than what it should have.
Probably.
So,
Or what bolts?
Yeah. Are you going to still probably run both? Do you still want to do wingless and wing?
I think it's definitely helped me.
Sure.
The non-wing, you gotta take it as a little bit different style.
Oh,
of
it's a lot
driving.
different, isn't it?
Yeah, and so it's even with the lesser horsepower, you're still, on these dry slick tracks, you really got to control your throttle, and that's helped in the wing side, But we, my engine builder, he's kind of helping us out, and he wants to test some stuff, and it's 15 minutes away from us.
Oh,
so it's
nice.
And it's still at home. We don't get NOSA coming out there all the time anymore, so
Sure.
we like to support our sponsors that are
Yeah,
at home and stuff.
absolutely.
So.
What are some of the differences between driving a car with a wing and one without? I mean, because you can see the guys in the wingless, it looks like they usually have a handful compared to the wing cars. Is it that big of a difference?
I would definitely say the non-wing, you feel loose all the time.
Mhm.
It just kind of feels like you're skating. You don't know. You're in control, but it's kind of, at one point it could just not all be there.
Sure.
And the wing car, you feel a little bit more stable. I would definitely say the cars, you drive into the corners different, but it's all, kind of coming out of the corners still the same. You got to try to get the weight over to the left rear and come off.
Can you throttle out of trouble like you can with a winged car?
You really don't get into too much trouble in the non-wing.
Okay.
Not with the tracks around here.
Mhm.
I think if we got more of those tracks that had character, like with ruts and stuff, I would definitely say you definitely need the more power to try
Yep.
to get out of it. So
I like that. Tracks with character.
Well, actually, that powering out of trouble, we have also with YHMS, which is Young Hash Motorsports. Rob Hash and me both go together and stuff. His grandson, Parker, runs one of the wingless, and he does a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Now, he had a rough start. I think first time he was in Grand Forks, he did one of the most spectacular rollovers off in corner number 2.
Oh, yeah.
And he tried to power out of it. Of course, he didn't know any difference. He just thought he'd stay in it, and it did power out.
Yeah.
So, and then his second one didn't power out. Neither did his third one. So
Right.
every time he's managed to power out, you just don't have the power there.
Right. Just from Amanda Jo Enright, congratulations, Colton, on your 2024 season. Very consistent and much progress. It was to see you at every NOSA race. T, looking forward to having you in a wing car again. It doesn't seem the same without these guys here. Does it to you?
As far as
I like seeing him when I go to the pits.
oh sure,
Because we didn't see him all the time, but it's nice. When we look at, I want to go over some of Colton's numbers here. Let's see here. You did have the win at Devil's Lake. 29 features, 1 win, 4 top 5s, 20 top 10s. I know there's a combination there of the wing and the wingless. But again, NOSA 5th in points, 6th in points for the Outlaw Sprints at River City Speedway. Not bad, and it's just going to keep going up. You think you probably found a few things last year, and I know you have said this numerous times today, Colton, but a lot of it is just confidence, isn't it?
yeah, just kind of, I think when we took a step back and kind of kept everything basic, we didn't change a whole bunch of stuff with our program. We found stuff that we liked and just went back to basics. I took a trip with Polkerbecks down to North Carolina when they ran the World Finals, and I kind of run a different chassis than everyone does. And so there's some people down there that I got to talk to that, the beginning of the year, it might be kind of a testing ground where we test the car out. But I think as soon as we get, 3-4 races in, I think we're going to just kind of figure out what we like and get right back to trying to get into top 5 all the time.
Now, before we get into some pictures here, this is a question I haven't actually asked in a while, and I used to ask it on almost every Dirty Thursday show. But you've been around, obviously, around racetracks pretty much your whole life. Were you one of those kids like we see every Friday night or Saturday night at the racetrack or Sunday, whatever night, that is in awe of you guys as drivers? They look at you as rock stars. They look at you as, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm standing next to Colton Young. We already heard the story about how you just jumped in and helped change a tire on a car. They didn't even know who the hell you were at first, but are you one of those guys? Do you soak it in when the kids come to you after the races because maybe you were that kid at one time also?
Yeah, I probably had my fair share of hero cards. It was kind of a goal to collect every single one that you could possibly get. I feel that, when we get fans down in the pits, it's, spend as much time with them because, you could be racing against them one day. I feel like with the better performances, you get more people down there. But, you take what you can get and you make the most out of the kids that you do get to come down. So
Now, I don't know you. Do you ever get mad? Does he ever get mad?
Rarely.
Okay.
Rarely, and if he does get mad, he doesn't say a word. He just storms around.
I don't know. I would lose all oil pressure. If things would build up in me, and I would just go nuts. But you seem so damn easy going, dude.
The only night he actually did, he was inside the car and he kind of went off on me because I got there a little late, and he went off on me there. I kind of felt like Jordan Graham and them.
Oh yeah.
That came out loud.
He's only gone off on you once?
Just once.
Just once.
Just once.
Okay.
So that's half of what you have.
I feel like it could be on a weekly basis.
That was going to be my next question. Have you guys ever argue at all in the pits?
We argue, but I think it's more of a family type deal.
Sure, more of a father-son thing.
Yeah, and it was the night that he was talking about was actually World of Outlaw night that he got late to. So I was a little bit more stressed out. We were testing a new motor that we just got back and it blew up.
Oh boy.
But I was kind of more stressed out that night because he wasn't there and we were already doing motor heat, and he was going to be the one to kind of like okay everything.
Sure.
But yeah, we do argue, and it's, most of the time it blows by, with nothing, but there's times that we stay mad for a day or two.
Well, I would imagine it's either going to be a really loud ride home or a very quiet ride home. Walker says normally when he gets mad, he's hungry. Amanda Joe, I barely see Colton without a smile on his face. That's pretty obvious. Travis Strandell, Colton progression this year was very impressive. They also have been a great help to me over the years. Can't thank them enough. Another low-budget team, if you will, with Travis Strandell. But you guys know what it's like to race with these guys. I mean, you could be parked next to these $1 million haulers, and it doesn't matter. You could still whoop up on them. And that's the good thing about this racing. Let's take a look at some pictures, and I tell you what, anybody just jump in when we look at these pictures and just tell us about what they are, because I have no idea what we're going to see here.
Oh God.
The rest of mine are good. I got my one joke out of the way. So
A quick shout out
Oh
here.
my God.
I've been meaning to do this, by the way. Thank you, Steven and John and T, for sending these all in. I got them, I believe, in chronological order, rotating between Colton and T every couple of photos. But I've also been meaning to give many thanks to Steven, Bobby Dusso, and Kelsey Peterson for letting me use the pics for all the promo pictures for Dirty Thursday all these last year and change. So big thank you to all you guys for allowing me to do that. So
All right. And Marie wants to know what number Colton is. And Colton, you are number 4.
Yep.
Okay. One joke. Colton is not like his dad, who likes to throw his steering wheel at you. That's Rob Hatch.
God, I'm gonna kill him.
There's actually a reason to the number 4.
Okay.
So my grandpa, when he raced, he ran hobby stocks and street stocks and late models and all that stuff. But most of the time he was the number 1. My dad was always the number 2, and then I do have a brother.
Okay.
And he didn't stick with the racing.
But I'm guessing he was number 3.
Yep, he ran a car I think he liked wearing the fire suit more.
Okay.
But
It's chick magnet.
so, but yeah, so he was the 3, and I just kind of thought, 4 is the next number. So
Sure. Hey, that's a great story. All right, let's look at some pictures here. Man, 1984, that was a year after I graduated from high school.
Grand Forks Speedway Rookie of the Year.
Wow, look at that.
That brings back a lot of old memories.
Was that like an old Nova, or what is that?
That is a Nova, yes.
Yeah.
So, in fact, it was kind of funny because we couldn't get any tilt into the car, for going around. We didn't have stagger and stuff like that. So my dad got underneath and just heated the spring up. So,
Oh, sure. Now, did he race back in the days when the racetrack was across from the airport? I'm guessing they're talking about your dad, Shorty?
Yes, Shorty.
Okay.
Yes, and at the Speedway here.
Okay.
So, oh my God, there's another one.
Yeah, that's a cool looking car.
That one actually did really well. We only had, we raced that 3 nights before I sold it. I got a third, a fourth, and a first.
Wow.
And you could, that was a very short car. I have a picture somewhere of me kneeling on the ground with my hand on the roof. That's how
Oh, I
short
bet.
it was.
It looks like it is.
It was very short or not very tall.
Yeah, that opening does not look like it'd be easy to get in and out.
Trying to get out of my wife's
No, I had
Camry.
a foot down. It come down. I
Oh.
had to put it up.
Okay.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, his size has changed a lot from the beginning to
Yeah.
now.
Gee.
So
He was cute then. He didn't stink. He's almost as big as the helmet. Oh my God.
So this is your first sprint car.
Yes.
So
What made you go from running the big car, the full-size car, to a sprint car? Just thought it was the next step, or what?
Actually, it was Mike Dobmeyer.
Oh, okay.
Mike kind of talked to me a little bit and helped me get started immensely.
Okay.
There was some dissension years ago. My dad knew most of the old racers and had run with him, and I was not a fan of Harry Thurlow. I'm sorry if I offend anybody, but I wanted to beat him.
Yeah.
I really wanted to beat him. So I got a car. We went out to Billings, Montana, and picked that gem up. And I think I actually bought that wing because the first wing I built, and that blew up on the first lap. With the I mean, it's shredded.
Yeah.
So I ended up buying that, I think, from Mike Dobmeyer.
Okay. And I wanted to mention this today. I do believe it's Mike Dobmeyer's birthday today.
Okay.
I think he's back in Florida. Happy birthday, Mike Dobmeyer. There you go, man. All right. Back to the pictures. Okay, look at that. Oh, ooh.
no, I'm surprised I don't have more pictures of you on fire, but here's one of them. Here's the beginning of some of the
Actually, to
fires.
be honest with you, they had a, one of the ladies that was Miss Grand Forks or something. She was pretty good at the racing stuff. Well, I was on fire. I jumped out, and methanol you can't see on fire.
Yeah, right.
I was standing there trying to get somebody to put me out. I didn't look like I was on fire, and of course, then I lifted my my visor, and I ended up burning my eyebrows and everything else. And she's the one that actually tackled me and then had him.
No
put me out.
kidding.
And it was kind of fun because the fair board went and gave me $100 for a fire suit because it burnt off.
No kidding. Just to get tackled by Miss whoever would
It
be.
was fun.
I mean, geez, I thought I had some good stories.
You can kind of see the folks on the pole. They're already getting into action there.
Yep. Wow.
And it's a pretty good bite coming off of the corner there, by the look of it.
Jeez, that was fast then.
Yeah. Tommy Holm and Kenny Melanson are the other cars.
This is way before my time.
Oh, hey.
Look at that.
There's
the Lightning.
Sprint.
That's a sweet looking car, too.
Little story on that. He ran the Lightning the night we adopted my daughter, and so I put on mine. It's a girl on my wing. Well, on his we put it's a sister,
Oh, cool.
and he went out there.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
Then
that
that's awesome.
Okay,
Wow.
so the reason why I put this particular version of this one in there, and it's going back to what Travis said earlier. So I'm going to have you tell the whole story, but we're seeing double here, right, T?
Okay,
2 Sonnies.
I hate you.
Do you want to tell it, or do you? Or
Well, yes, we ended up 1 year. I had 1 or 2 rollovers, or a lot,
Okay.
just one or two? That's it.
or a lot.
Yeah.
and that was the same year that Sonny Mac had rolled quite a bit too. So they come running over after I rolled over. I think it was in Hamilton, if I'm not mistaken. They come running over and they says, "You all right?" And I said, "Yeah." And they said, "Who are you?" Sonny Mac.
Yeah.
And it stuck with him. I mean, it went through the.
Known Sonny for a long time.
God, I
Wow,
young.
look at that. You look like you're about 16 years old, dude.
I think I was close.
And who is the lady? It's not one that put the fire out on you, is it?
I wish I knew. I
Okay.
know.
You look like, I don't know if you're grinning for the picture or you're grinning, you're sitting next to a good looking girl.
Yeah, both.
Or
Yeah.
both. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's just living the dream in that picture.
Yeah.
It looks like it.
She was damn good looking. Oh, God.
No, there's a fancy paint job.
Yeah, so that's when we went through. We have no money for vinyl, and everything was paint.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, who hasn't been there? I mean, really, a lot of people have.
Yeah, that's a wolf. That's the wolf weld.
That is the
Oh, okay. Sure. Sure. The PBR car.
So I think we went over this in the last couple of years. This is when you and Rob
Me,
first
Rob,
got
and
together,
Alvin.
right?
And Alvin was great. Probably one of the smartest mechanic, Alvin Schroeder, Ryan's dad. He ran with us for years, and of course Rob Hash. But we were all running together, and I think we're drinking together about the same amount.
Mm-hmm.
So there may have been when we got sponsored by Pabst, I think they gave us case or maybe 2 cases every time we raced to give away.
Yeah.
I think we give 1 away.
No, you don't give them away. That's why
I
my
think we
softball
drank
teams are always beer sponsored.
I think I drank every one of them.
I want to, as we're doing this, I want to read a couple of texts because I'm going to lose him here. Cordell Polkabreck says, keep your eye on this kid. With a little help, he's going to be on top very soon. Kid's always happy, great attitude, willing to work, very intelligent. Hopefully he gets the help he needs, and I lost it. Breton, great family to visit with in the pits. Several nights racing wheel to wheel with these guys. Always a good time. Good morning, John Biergard. Travis Strandell, you're welcome, T. Humble beginnings from Marie. And Breton, always got a laugh in the car when he behind T. His hair flows out the holes in his seat like some commercial. That's what we used to do back when I played hockey. There was no word like mullet. We called it Canadian. And when your hair was flowing out the back of your helmet when you're hauling ass down the ice, we called that Canadian, and now it's mullet. All right, let's get back to the pictures.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, that was first rollover at the same track I had my first race.
Look like you're farting.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think he crapped his pants.
No, I saw that post. I was looking for the lightning sprint picture. Did you finish the race like that?
We
Yes.
had to.
The way it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they told us we wouldn't get paid unless we raced the feature, and we asked. I think there was only like 8 cars there that night, and we asked everyone if they had a spare top wing that we could just borrow, just to make it through, and no one did. So my dad duct taped the wing back together, and we raced it like that.
Where was that at?
Why not?
Okay. Not going to get paid unless you make the feature. Wow.
All right, so here's where one of the speed secrets comes in. How does this happen?
There may have been a little luck involved. You got this one.
A little bit.
Or a lot. So
I actually don't know the story behind this one.
really, then
No.
nobody is going to learn it.
Yeah, you never know with him because he knows
Yeah, that
about
does a little-
everything.
Actually, no, that was, we ended up getting sponsored by Cedar Inn, and that car had been sitting inside their restaurant for like a month. And we took it out, and
That's like a decorative piece or what?
yeah, just they sponsored. They said
Yeah.
the only way is if I kept the car in there. We took the engine out,
Oh.
put another engine in. We ended up that we had to build a hood because we didn't have any money for even a hood.
Yeah, it's definitely a different looking hood.
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely is.
It worked really good. So, and yeah, that car was lightning fast until I wrecked it.
Yeah. Where'd you
done.
wreck it at?
Sioux Falls.
Okay.
Me and there was actually a race. Me and Doug Wolfgang got tangled up on the start, and I went through one of the big displays up on top.
Oh, nice.
And I was outside in the track, or outside the track, out in the parking lot, and I come down in between a couple cars, and everybody come running out, see me, and I couldn't get out of the car because it was upside down. We ended up bending the frame, so we just kind of raced it the next night.
Wow. How'd it run?
I didn't win.
No.
So Kim said something about one of your wins has to do with a spark plug.
There was a spark plug problem. These are not good stories here, guys. Come on.
They're perfectly fine.
No.
Do you want to elaborate more?
No.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Still the Wolfwald by the look of it.
Yep.
A lot of your cars have got something to do with donuts on them. I've noticed that.
That's
Yeah.
because I eat them.
Yeah, I do
We
too.
can tell.
Hey, that's pretty cool there.
That was a nice night. Actually, what happened was Mike Thompson was leading the race, and I got behind him. I could smell antifreeze. I was like, I ain't moving. I'm in second.
Yeah.
He ain't lasting. He didn't. So, and we had pretty good lead on everyone.
So there you go. You get the win.
And that was a borrowed left rear wheel on there. I got that from Bernie Glennon.
Wow.
Yeah, I think the left rear wheel and the right front was borrowed from Bernie Glennon because he
Jeez.
wrecked.
Yeah.
That's the only thing we could do.
I didn't have any other ones in 95, so. So now this is the first time we see Spirit Lake on the car.
They actually just come on board like 2 or 3 days before, so we had that made for the wing, and we ended up doing pretty good with that car. That car ended up being very good, especially with the sponsorship.
So this kind of went backwards. This is the first 96 car.
Yes,
So
And obviously the car was for sale.
always.
Everything.
They all were.
I was
So-
trying to sell anything just to make it to the next race.
Sure.
His car last year was for sale.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Here we go. T. Young with the for sale sponsored.
Well, when you didn't have any sponsors, what
Nope.
the heck? you know?
Right. No. Nope.
Oh, there's the one. That's the day of the.
Oh, sure. It's a girl. There you go.
It's a girl.
Ah, very cool.
That was with my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
We adopted her in early morning, and we got back to Devil's Lake because we had to run up to Belcourt,
Okay.
and we ended up loading the cars up and going racing.
Nice. Somebody wanted to know if that was when the casino first opened. That one picture.
Spirit Lake.
Yeah.
Spirit Lake. No, actually, it wasn't just open. We'd actually just moved over to over to where it is now.
Okay.
From Tokyo and St. Michael's, they had 2 of them there.
So this one's my favorite.
That's a cool
It
looking
is
car.
my favorite.
This is the first year. So with the sponsorship and everything, look at how nice everything looks because of Spirit Lake or whatever. Even got him a new suit.
Yes, new suit.
So that's you in that picture.
Yes,
That doesn't look anything like you to me.
I had short hair.
Yeah, I see that. You look like you maybe are a little more stockier back then.
And to finish that
I was
off,
fat.
Okay, fat.
when we continue on here, keep looking at him in the cockpit because that fire suit made it 27 years. And I
27
think you
years.
finally just busted the zipper on it, right?
I didn't even.
No, he fixed it. His
Oh, that's right, he fixed it and
Yeah, his
continued
belly
using
got
it
in the
anyway.
way,
Right.
and
Well, that's always the thing. Is just like, oh, I ran out of breath in the car. Well, it's because you go before you get in the car all the time. Anyway, so these were your last couple before you moved. Last couple of years.
Okay.
So now different car here for 2020.
yeah. So that was our 01 Maxim. It's the car that Dad was running, and I finally took it over. That car had so many races on it. I don't think it even works right anymore. It just was twisted and rolled over so many times that.
We figured it had about 400 races when I bought it.
Wow. Holy.
And he ran it for 3 years, and then I ran it.
But I only rolled it twice.
That's not bad.
That's not
3
bad.
years. So you're talking
Pretty good considering. Yep.
Oh, there's the heaven.
So now you've come back. I was gonna ask you about this. We are running a little bit long here. Now you spent some time in Arizona and Nevada
Yep, Nevada.
for about a decade.
Yep.
So now you're back. It's 2011.
I love that car. Pretty.
Yeah, that is. That car stands out.
That
Oh.
is-
Yeah, so that's me with my grandpa. He was back here, and then obviously my dad, and we had the car on display for Lever's Foods. They helped me my very first year and just kind of got me the safety equipment that I needed to actually race.
Now, was there a Levers in Devil's Lake?
Yes.
Okay. Is there still one there?
Yes.
Okay.
The actual home office is right from
Okay,
there. That's
because
where Jeremy.
we used to have one
Virginia-
here, and then I used to live right down the street from it. But yeah, now it's a Planet Fitness or something. Another cool looking car, plain, but I like the look.
Yeah. That's because I wrecked the wing.
So now you changed to Ford. I think part of that is because Austin Pierce was 2.
Yep.
And
But then
Well, I knew he was going to come up and take it, so I was going to
Okay.
get out and put him in the car. And so that's what the reason for the 4 was.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
That's cool.
Not still that Maxim? Or?
Yep, that's still the Maxim. We just finally changed to the red.
Now, when I was going through, and we kind of were talking about this before the show, you didn't end up doing a lot of wing in 21. I think you blew up early and didn't do
Yeah.
a ton
Yeah.
that year.
So that was the year we did the Jackson when NOSA really traveled. We went down to Jackson and
Oh,
did pretty
yeah, it was
good.
that year, yeah.
Pretty good there, and then we went over to I-90, and that's the night my dad wrecked in the B, and then 4 laps later I rolled over. And then we ran Grand Forks. I rolled over the second time in the year, and then we had some help come on board, and we got a new car, and right after that we blew up both motors. So
Japers. Buy a race car, they say.
Most fun you can have with your pants on.
Yeah.
So the suit is a teenager now, as you can see,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
as we roll on here.
It matches that left rear beadlock, though. Kind
There
of.
you go.
And the graphics a little bit, to be honest.
Yep.
Oh, love that picture.
This
That's a good-
You two side by side?
That's a very good picture.
yeah, and I kind of did the blue with the checkerboard. It was kind of more for Dad.
Sure.
We had that car laying around, and that's actually the car that Don Mack helped us out with.
Oh, wow.
We
Okay.
used it for a non-wing, and everything we kept, or as we got it from him, it's all still there. We haven't even pulled the car down. It's the only thing we've changed is the body on it because it
Man.
started to get pretty bad on it.
Sure. Sure.
But, it was more kind of, I've always wanted to kind of do a tribute for my dad's car.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it wasn't the full tribute, but it was, close. We kind of did the gold.
People get it.
Instead. Yeah.
And it worked out well because, as you can see, the suit is on its 25th anniversary in this photo. So, as we continue on,
Oh, yay.
still rolling on here. What kind of car is it? That hood's different.
That's the one we got from Lee Gross. Or
Oh,
Doug,
that makes-
Doug Howells.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
Doug Howells.
Yeah, so that one was first win in a wing car. We had probably 20 heat race wins and no feature wins yet. So we finally got a feature win. We did a non-wing with wings on it in Devil's Lake and during the Devil's Run weekend, and was able to win that. Yeah.
How big of a dad moment was that?
Monumental.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Isn't that something?
just, if you go a few minutes before, I actually ran up to him and gave him a hug while he didn't even have his helmet on.
Yeah.
It's amazing when you see that. And the nice part about that is Parker, and Rob. So that's actually the 4 of us that are in the team together. It's all 4 of us,
Very cool.
So yeah, this is the. That was from the story earlier. I think that's the same day actually.
Yes.
This is our July race in 2016.
Yeah, I think that was.
Yeah.
But see, different suit.
He still had the other one.
He's trying to throw Steven off.
As we've seen, he doesn't use it all the time, but
It fluctuates with the weight.
Yeah, I'd like to see it.
I was like, is that a luck thing? Do you try and bring out the old luck from it, or?
I'd like to see you walk into the holler with one suit and then walk out with a different one on and see how many people turn their heads then.
That's an idea.
There's a great picture. That's a nice nice shot there, Steven.
That's outside turn 4 casino. I used that one because that was a very sketchy angle that night.
That is
so that one was kind of selfish for me.
no kidding.
That was one of the nights that after we blew up the first motor, we had the 360 in, and we went down there knowing they're kind of a drier, slick track, and we went down there and ran 8th, I think, at Watertown and 8th in Casino. So
Not too shabby.
Oh my God.
Okay, so this is not T. Young. This is Sam Miller.
Oh wow, Sammy.
Actually, we had a deal that we were trying to promote at the time, show that we were trying to promote, and they asked me to do that, and I said, yeah.
Somebody wants to know, Walker says, ask T and Colton about the Sanders and Weld wheel discussions in the shop. Ask T and Colton about the Sanders and Weld wheel discussions in the shop.
Sanders is better.
No. That's one of our
That's one
arguments.
Of your
that we have.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
He thinks it's his way, and they're expensive, and he's always complaining that we don't have enough money, and I run the cheaper of the two, and he doesn't like them because they're not a sander.
Okay. All right, well, makes sense. Hey, now look at that race suit.
Hey, that ain't the old one.
That's the brand new one, but as you can also see, everyone in the photo here is looking at the camera except T.
Yeah.
So.
Well, his mother even made it to that one. That's right next to him. And, of course, Walker, Parker,
Nice.
Rob,
Yeah.
and Chris.
I'm kind of glad these photos work out because you never know if you're taking a picture of T if it's going to crack the lens or... Really? Really? No? Okay.
What? Oh.
Oh, my God, I love that one.
Yeah, so just to go back, the 55 thing, were you doing a Sammy Hagar thing at that point?
We were
or?
doing the show and stuff, mainly down. We had the one thing in Florida and stuff, but we were trying to, we'd ended up getting Venom energy drinks, which are actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't have they didn't have any money to go. So we put that car together with the snake skin on it. That was cool.
That was a cool looking car.
That was actually the car that turned into my blue and yellow car.
Oh,
back
okay,
in 2020, So
Okay. Oh, the Maxim that had been
Yep.
run a
Yep.
lot. Okay. This is the first non-wing win.
yep, that was right at the end of the year, last race of the year. So
Nice.
You notice that fire suit? I fill it out a little too well.
Been hitting the gym, haven't you?
I am down 40 pounds
Good for you. That's awesome.
between Viagra and meth. No problem.
Oh my God. Heather says, for the love of God, the SFI and the fire suits, it's only good for 3 years. That's why he wears the fireproof long johns.
Can you prove that?
Correct. So yeah, this is that same weekend you guys are talking about. We started at Jackson, went to I-90 or whatever.
yeah, I think that's about the only photos of that car because it got destroyed.
It is the next night. Yeah.
It was destroyed too. There was nothing left of that car.
And by the way, I can't answer to all of the texts, you people, but we sure appreciate there's a lot of them coming in. In fact, Corey Litton says, my favorite T car was one that I saw in Lisbon during an October race that said boo on the side.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, there's very few pictures of that one.
Boo.
That was
I thought about using one of those, but they were it was one of the first weekends I ever shot, and they kind of weren't the best.
that boo car was another one that was just hand painted.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's
No
how
stickers.
everything was hand painted at one time, but that's another really good picture there.
Caught you both together again.
And that's me probably passing him.
Looks like it.
100%.
Yep.
He kept up with you a couple more frames there, but
I think that's the night he broke his drive shaft, and it was my fault.
No, I like this picture because I caught him actually doing something, which
That's rare.
which is rare.
I was farting.
Kind of runs in the family, doesn't it?
The farting? Yeah.
We make fun of him about that photo. Or photos like that.
Now he looks like he's farting.
What? Well, he's farting around for sure on that thing. So, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, I love that one too. So this one, I threw this one in late, and luckily I did because there was the story behind it. But I threw it in because this is actually the first night I ever shot too. We ended up getting rained on. Yeah, so I just thought that was, I forgot how little you were.
I was thinking that looked like Steve Kinzer.
But there you are on the way to go, like you're fueling the car, like you're doing stuff. You're like 12, 13 here, you know? So, and that's Tanner Whisk you're talking to there, so. And that's everything.
Wow, that was a lot of pictures, man. Are you...
Memory lane.
Yeah, and it's fun to do that. Are you guys ready for this year? Do you got a long way to go, or how's it looking? Do you guys thrash hard in the winter? Do you step back for a while, or kind of pick away at things when you get a chance?
It's more of a pick at it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He does the appliances during the day, and then I go to work every day, and then I do the wrestling at night. So yeah, the wrestling's kind of my get ready for racing. Stay in shape. And but the cars, mine's pulled apart. It's not put back together yet.
Yep.
But,
Mine's ready.
there.
Yours ready?
Mine's ready.
We're having a hard time. We're running out of room.
Oh, okay. Do you have a girlfriend?
Nope.
Smart.
I'm never going to have grandkids at this rate.
Oh, well, it took a long time before I got any either. Who all helps you with your car, and both you? I'll go with you first.
Like sponsorship?
We'll get to that afterwards.
Okay. Mostly it's just me. I decide to, I pick a lot of the setup stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have a buddy from high school, Walker Einerson. He helps me out a lot. It's kind of tough. He farms every summer, so it's hit and miss. And
Sure.
I know they probably don't. His family probably doesn't like me when I say, "Yep, I'm taking him. I need him for the races and stuff." But
For a farm kid, he's there more often than he isn't. So
I just kind of told them I'm taking him. So
yeah,
but
And they're getting to the point where they actually work good together.
yeah.
good,
So he
good.
he can tell me what I'm doing off the track, and I can kind of tell him what I am feeling in the car, and we kind of put all that together, and then I can kind of make a better decision on what I need.
Sure. And what about your sponsors?
Yeah, so we have Devil's Lake Gnomes. They've been there since I started. Last year we picked up Anna's Katina and Tequila, which is the sister to Chara's and Tequila.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And then we have Lifestyle Nutrition, Devil's Lake Marine and Sport, Leonardo's. Trying to think.
there's one with like a 3 in it.
Oh, 3W Garage. That's
Yeah.
that's my uncle's. They live out in California.
Oh, okay.
They thought every time they come back, they give me $100 here and there.
Sure.
And, car's pretty bare, so we'll just throw it on there. It's family, so.
Just trying to mentally go over the car for you. I was
Yeah.
like, got it. What was the one? There we go.
Okay, and I'm going to ask you to T, who helps you and who sponsors you, and also Steve says, ask T about the time he fired the car at the shop and the throttle was hung at about 3/4 open.
Oh, my God.
These stories just keep coming up.
Well, we fired the car, and there's a little pond at the end of the driveway. And it, I don't think it was 3/4. I think it was full, flat out, wide open. When I left the end of the road and it hit the pond, and there was water everywhere, and I ended up driving down later that night, and Rob and Alvin ended up pulling out cattails, and they had cattails stuck all over the car when we backed it out of the trailer.
Wasn't that like Zach Umdahl? Didn't he do that at Devil's Lake?
Backstretch,
Yeah. Who helps you with the car and sponsors?
Well, I really don't have any sponsors. Colton is pretty much my pit crew.
Sure.
Chris Bro helps me out when he can. And then Walker, of course. I don't know what we do without Walker.
Yeah, he kind of takes over the whole thing. He does tires.
That's nice to have somebody like that.
Yeah.
Heather McDonald or Amanda Joanne Wright, awesome show, Youngs. Heather McDonald, Water Wings. I was going to try to get him to sing, but he told me when he first got here, there's no way in hell I'm going to sing today.
There's only one song that would come to mind, and it's My Ding-a-Ling.
Oh, boy, Chuck Berry here. No, man.
And roll those end credits real quick. And bye, everyone. We'll see you next week.
You guys, we could go all day long. I mean, we're already well over an hour into the show. This was awesome. I hope you had a good time because I feel bad because it takes so long to get to know everybody in the pits. I know I've talked to you. I've said hi to you a few times, but and I probably said more to you at the banquet than I probably have any other time. But now I know you, and it's a whole different deal. I mean, it was the same with you. I appreciate you guys taking time off from your day. I know you've got a busy weekend. Good luck with the wrestling tournament this weekend. I am really keyed up for this next season. You, my friend, it's always good seeing you. I'd love to go hang out with you for a whole day one time, just to see what we could, what kind of stories we could be talking about in 20 years from now.
You know, it's a pleasure. I wanted to say one thing. Racing with your kid, I could about imagine what Tommy and Blake. Mm-hmm. It is amazing racing with your kid.
Yeah.
This is one of the sports, wrestling and racing are the two sports I think that combine families more than anyone ever thinks.
Yeah, you're right.
Everybody's close. I mean, I have a 21-year-old son that we spend most of our time together. Mm-hmm. Where can you do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Heather, when's karaoke? I see T goes all the time. Where do you usually sing?
Actually, I have some friends of mine that was involved with the Sammy thing. Mm-hmm. And so we go and see him. The only problem with him is he's a Democrat, but bleeder.
I didn't know that.
But he's still a pretty good guy.
Oh yeah, he seems like it is.
And so wherever they go, if we go, we'll go see them just because I enjoy giving them shit.
I would too.
No.
Just him. You don't do it to anyone else.
Especially now.
Just him. Just him.
Stephen Lewis, man, thank you again.
Yeah, no problem.
And again, I also want to thank Dale, the producer today. Dale, he always does such a good job. By the way, folks, we're going to wrap this show up now. And again, thank you to T. Young and Colton Young. Thank you to Stephen Lewis. Thanks again to Dale, the producer. Now, here's the deal. Next week, Miles Tomlinson is going to be live via Zoom. He's going to be at the Chili Bowl. So we're going to be doing the show for the Chili Bowl. He'll be racing that thing. That is going to be awesome. I am really keyed up for that. I want to thank our sponsor, too, Rumor Sports Bar and Casino right across the hallway here in the Grand Cities Mall. In fact, BT has got a big gig coming up. We're going to be talking about that on Monday. But if you can't make it to the UND hockey games, watch it there, wall-to-wall TVs. Or if you can make it and you're worried about parking, go to Rumors. Jump on the bus. It's $5. You get a free drink when you get back, and they drop you off and pick you up right at the front door of the Ralph. Stop in today. Sandwich at the side is just $7. They got all kinds of great food specials. I love Rumors Sports Bar and Casino. In fact, I might head over there right now. All right, again, Miles Tomlinson on next week from the Chili Bowl. We'll catch you tomorrow. Remember to like, share, tag, and follow us. Hit that notification bell on your smartphone. You never miss a show that way. You know the Forks are awesome. Grand Forks' best source has given the Forks their identity back.